Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Bill Levinson, managing partner with Levinson and Associates. With me today, we have Andrew Paris, our brokerage manager, and then we have our go-to carrier when it comes to premium finance. We have two guest speakers from Lincoln Financial joining us, John and Till, so it's a pleasure to have them part of the weekly Levinson training. So thank you to both of you, and thank you, Andrew. And let's jump right in here. So I think it's important, we want to make sure we finish within the hour, but I think it's important that everyone understands, we have hundreds of agents that are on right now, and then this is, of course, broadcasted on our YouTube channel. So we have plenty of agents that are experts in the premium finance space. And then we also have agents that are brand new to the space, and maybe they're thinking of a particular client that they want to bring this up to. So the goal is everyone walks away with nuggets of information that they can use, hopefully, to tee up and sell their next premium finance case, right? We know these premiums are typically very large, and of course, the commissions are very large. So we all want to play in this space, but you have to know the ins and outs. You have to understand what's involved, and of course, who is that perfect prospect for this type of strategy, because it's not for everyone, right? So I want everyone to take out a pen and paper, make sure you're jotting down these notes. We're going to go over some case design, sales strategies, who to look for. I'm going to share one of our most recent premium finance cases with you all. And this was a slam dunk case for the client and, of course, the agent. But when I share the details and how this helped the client, I think that everyone, if you can jot down these notes when I go over it at the end, I think everyone will have a client in mind that they can visit with as soon as this webinar is over, okay? Because this is truly a win-win when it's the right prospect. Okay, so we're going to move right ahead. We'll start our feature presentation in about 5 minutes, but I want to talk about some new updates just in. So Insurance News Net magazine just came out, the August edition, and Insure Me Now Direct, which is our exclusive Amazon kind of platform for insurance agents that allows prospects, especially younger, healthier professionals, to go on your website, run a quote, apply online, and print and save their policy within 7 minutes. Okay, we're adding 2 new products to the platform as we speak, so that makes 5 carriers, over 15 products that are 100% direct to consumer, but you still get paid full commission plus renewals when applicable. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Obviously, we all want that large ticket premium finance case, but for the smaller, 15, 20, 30-year term, 100 grand, 500 grand, let these people go to your site and quote themselves and apply and get approved all by themselves at 2 a.m. when you're sleeping, and you wake up and there's a new policy that was sold. Okay, again, think Amazon. This is the way people buy now retail supplies and clothes and shoes. So why not sell a small term policy, final expense, supplemental, cancer, critical illness, accident, guaranteed issue whole life, guaranteed issue children's grow-up plans, right? Why not have the ability to sell these prospects, right, and cater to them, because this is the way the younger generation wants to do business. So it's free for you all. Take advantage. If you know any small businesses, groups, associations, P&C health agencies, we can brand this for that group, and then everything that's sold on the platform, of course, you get full commissions on every single product, just like if you were face-to-face with a client. Okay, let's move forward. So this just came in, and I had to share this actually this morning. This was on our Facebook page, and I wanted to share with everybody that's on the call just real quick. And I hate to sound conceited or toot our own horn, but when I see this from an agent, and especially the agents on this call right now, I have to share. Okay, I've been in the insurance business for many years and have worked with a lot of FMOs. I would like to thank and certainly compliment Kerry and Bill Levinson for creating a culture that shares my values as a BGA that they do what they say they are going to do. They have extended themselves along with Andrew and Joe, and by extension, their contracting and new business team to always do the right thing. And to this date, they have not let me down. And in fact, have gone beyond that to help me out. Like any of us, our word is our bond, and they have kept it each time. So thanks, Kerry and Bill. Let's keep the journey going. That means the world, especially when it comes from someone like you all. Okay, you're on the other side, you're in the trenches, and it's important that you know we realize what you go through each and every day. It's very difficult out there, okay? And it takes a good team like us, right, to have empathy and understand when it's Friday and you didn't get paid on a certain case, you want us to go above and beyond and reach out to the carrier and call in a favor and get this thing paid and processed. So anyway, that means the world, and I wanted to thank you all for sharing. What we're also doing today, we have our question of the day. I'm going to ask at the end, whoever answers first and correctly wins your choice $50 Amazon gift card or the new Amazon Fire tablet. So make sure you're paying attention and jotting down those notes. Also, we have a question box in the right side. You can type in questions, comments, anything good, bad, and different. We want to hear from you. As you know, we build these weekly trainings around you all. So please, your feedback is crucial. Okay, let's move down one slide here. Our newest podcast, okay, I do these every single month, and I'm really excited about this one. This is on Friday. In fact, tomorrow morning I'm recording this. Euron Bensby. He is the CEO for MassMutual's recent startup called Haven Life. He was just rated the top 5% CEO in Entrepreneur magazine. He is brilliant. In fact, we have their exclusive product offering on InsureMe Now Direct, and we're adding one of their new products called Paycheck Protection as well. So anyway, I get to interview him for 1 hour, pick his brain, find out what their big picture looks like. I want his take on insurance, you know, in this COVID world that we're all living in. So it's going to be really cool. We'll launch that by probably the weekend or Monday, the latest. But anyway, that's going to be a big one. Make sure you tune in and listen. And again, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Okay, moving forward here, what we're going to do right now is shift gears, and we're going to dive into our feature presentation, which is all about premium finance and our go-to carrier, Lincoln Financial. We have Till and John Kimmel, our VP, joining us. So just sit back, relax, pay attention, and get ready for the question of the day. Till, John, you there?
Yep, we're here. Thank you very much. Appreciate you having us on, Bill and Andrew. Lincoln certainly enjoyed partnering with you for a number of years. You've been a great partner with Lincoln. We do have multiple business units. We have a business development unit.
Hey, John, we're coming in. It's coming in a little fuzzy. I don't know if you're on a headset.
No, you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Again, thank you, Bill and Andrew, for having Lincoln on. We certainly appreciate your partnership over the many years. We're very up to the webinar series. We do have a business team, a full management team, an advanced sales team, and we have Till Ruggiero from our premium finance team. She's one of our top premium finance consultants who will be kicking this premium finance webinar off. So with no further ado, Till, you want to take it over?
Hello, everybody, and thanks for having me on the call. I like to begin these types of meetings with an overview of the premium finance basics. A client borrowing from a lender, that lender is paying that borrowed amount directly to the carrier as a policy premium. The client is in turn paying full interest as incurred, and typically, or more often than not, that's going to be on an annual basis. The client will post collateral and repay the lender, and there's a couple ways that repaying the lender can take place, and we will cover that a little later on. And of course, in the event that the client passes away before that lender is repaid, that amount will be deducted from the death benefit proceeds before it transfers on to the intended beneficiary. So just in general, who borrows and why, right? It could be to take advantage of low borrowing costs, very much the case in this environment. A client may be are liquid. You know, those clients who are very wealthy in real estate or land. So they definitely have the reason they would be a good candidate for premium financing, but they need that premium, they need that liquidity to cover that life insurance premium. Clients with large portfolios and you know, selling investments may very well trigger a tax exposure. And then, of course, some clients just may want to conserve gifting capacity. But as it refers specifically to life insurance, premium finance personal life insurance, it is used most commonly to meet one of these needs, either estate planning, business, insurance, or retirement income. So now that we've gone over a little bit of the why borrow, what's the point, let's talk about what's in it for the client. And it really does come down to the cost of borrowing. Now, this slide was made at the end of last year. These rates are lower now, but this is an example of typical lender rates. And those rates are going to be made up of a spread and the 12-month LIBOR. Now, the spread is going to stay the same throughout the duration of the loan, but as you know, the LIBOR can change. And I would say that most carriers, when they're illustrating these premium finance designs, they're going to build in usually a 10 to 15 basis point buffer each year so that they can prepare that client for that potential interest rate change. You know, I felt it important to leave the LIBOR rate as of December 31st, 2019 on screen. It's 2%. It was 2%. And as of this past Monday, it was 0.45. I mean, this low interest rate environment really does accentuate the benefit of premium financing. And the next thing to consider is the importance of collateralizing the loan, because it has to be. Now, some sources of collateral are carrier specific, but most commonly you're going to see policy values of existing life insurance or annuity policies used as collateral, but the cash value of the life insurance policy to be purchased can also be used with the addition of a high early cash value rider, and we will cover that a little more in detail. Liquid assets, of course, are always nice. The more liquid, the better. And oftentimes, if you're willing to transfer some of your assets to the lender of your choice, there could be better breakpoints involved. And you may also use, in some cases, marketable securities. Of course, more often than not, only 50% of that value is going to be allowed. And just to really drill this down, as simple as it may seem, the collateral requirement is a crucial part of the premium finance discussion, and the client must be able to prove that they can collateralize that loan on an annual basis, or for however long that they're actually taking the loan from the lender. You know, up until this point, we've seen how premium financing can benefit clients by offering liquidity without liquidation, but it's also important that we do consider some of the risks. And those risks include interest rate risk, additional collateral requirements, and potentially additional renewal requirements, because lenders will review your loans periodically. Some do it every year, some might do it every 3. So now that we've gone over the what and why of premium financing, let's look at that typical client. And you're going to see small business owners and professionals, typically in their mid-50s, with estate planning needs. The average policy size, or at least last year, 2019, for Lincoln was around 10 to 15 million. These contracts are going to be maximally funded for around 10 years. Now, standardly, the funding option necessitates a cash accumulation product. So what you'll typically see, and this is across all vendors, is an IUL. And that IUL will standardly have that high early cash value rider on it. And that the point of the high early cash value rider is to assist with that collateral need. And then, of course, the why here would be, again, estate planning, and the owners are going to vary between personal trust, actual people, trustees, or businesses. So I'll take a moment here and just talk about what you might want to look for in your book of business. So we're talking about, I will say, as an industry, folks with net worth between income between 250 and 500,000 a year. I would say net worth between 2.5 to 5 million. A moment ago, when we were talking about just in general who might borrow, I mentioned folks that were illiquid. You may have folks in your books who do have a lot of real estate. Some people with farmland. You know, it's no doubt that these things are highly valuable, but again, they're just not liquid. And borrowing that money actually can prove to be not very difficult at all when you get with the right lender. And I'll also take a moment to talk about age. I would say anywhere between 45 to 60. If you have anyone outside of those parameters, by all means, it could still be very worth looking into. But you're trying to find those people who do have that income established, that net worth established, and you also want to be mindful of health. And we'll get a little bit more into some other things to look for as we go through these case studies. So one of the more prevalent profiles that we've seen is the Henry, and that's high earner, not rich yet. And in this example, we have William, who's a surgeon, married, has children. You know, he definitely wants to increase that wealth, protect his family, but he also wants income in retirement. So, you know, he's making $815,000 a year, net worth of $1.5 million, and that income is growing. You know, based on Lincoln's ability to, and I'll go back for a second, based on Lincoln's ability to underwrite a case on either net worth or income, William is actually a prime candidate for premium financing. And with his advisor, they devised a 5-step plan. And we're going to go through each of these steps in some detail. So he decides to borrow $372,000 annually for 9 years at a rate of 3.25 from said lender. And with that, he's purchasing a $10 million Wealth Accumulate IUL with the high early cash value rider added. So in that year, up until year 7, the cash value or the surrender value in that life insurance policy is going to equal the premiums paid. So if you were to multiply 372 times 7, you're going to get that 2.6. Now in year 8, there will be a short collateral fall, a shortfall, as well as year 9. Now with the lever rider, it is a 10-year rider, and for the first 7 years, there's a 100%, you could say, a return of premium, if you will. But then in those years 8 and 9, that protection does downgrade a bit, but nevertheless, he's still borrowing $3.34 million, and I want to say that the actual collateral requirement is just a little over $170,000, somewhere in there. Now, the interest on this loan does have to be paid every year, and you're paying that interest on the total loan balance. So in this design, even though William is only paying premium for 9 years, the loan interest is still due until the lender is repaid. And so while it's not specifically noted on the slide, the client does pay interest through year 12, resulting in a total out-of-pocket cost of a little over $1 million, in interest. Now, based on a 5.1 crediting rate, we're able to borrow $3.3 million and repay the lender, or I should say take $3.3 million from the policy values and repay the lender in year 13. And bear in mind that this client wanted to take income. So in addition to repaying the lender, he's able to also take $301,000 a year between ages 66 and 84, or 66 and 84. at a rate of, well, total income is a little over $6 million, and that net death benefit at life expectancy is still 7.4. So just to recap, the client borrowed $372,000 a year for 9 years at 3.25. He purchased a $10 million IUL with the cash value enhanced rider. The total interest paid was 1.1 over 12 years, and he was able to repay the lender from policy values in year 13. And then last but most certainly not least, able to take $6 million of income over 20 years and still have a net death benefit of $7.5 million. This profile, the Henry profile, is they're much easier to get through because they're younger, they're healthier, and they have that income, that very high income. So I would say if there was a just a silver bullet, if you will, I would definitely look through the book or your book of businesses for people that might fit that Henry description. So next, we're going to take a look at a business owner, and this is Andrew. Andrew needs $10 million, but he also needs to keep cash on the books. He doesn't want to, of course, stop investing in his business to buy life insurance. And he is comfortable with leverage, or essentially with borrowing. Now, before this case actually came to Lincoln, this client had been presented with a life guarantee, a GUL, just a guaranteed UL policy, $10 million, and the premium was going to be $109,000 for, of course, 50 years. Now, granted, we wouldn't expect him to live the whole 50 years, but even at rough life expectancy, he was still coming out of pocket around $4 million. So being that this client mentioned that he was comfortable with borrowing, we decided to turn his attention to a 7-pay IUL for which the client would borrow the premium. Now, instead of paying approximately $4 million potentially in that GUL design, we can have that same $10 million death benefit, but now you're just paying interest costs. I mean, that is a fraction. So you're going from 1.2 in interest because you're borrowing the premium, as opposed to paying out of pocket anywhere between $4 to $5 million. And we actually took this one a step further. If you take a look at that column on the far right, we proposed that the client actually take that premium that he was willing to pay in the GUL, but pay that as a level interest payment towards the interest for 7 years. And that even brought down his out-of-pocket cost another $200,000. And I know that might seem very tiny considering the size of these numbers, that $200,000, but it really did make the case. And Lincoln is a carrier that will allow you to accrue interest within certain parameters, and we will cover those in a moment. But again, this is, especially for a business owner, saving any amount of money is huge, keeping any amount on the books. And the client was actually very grateful, and this was one of the more better cases of 2019 here at Lincoln. So what does it take to get a case placed with us? Well, our net worth requirements are a little bit more lenient, if you will, because we will allow a client to meet either criteria. So let's say you have your high net worth, but you actually have no income. Or the reverse, you have a lot of income, but you have no net worth. As long as there's no other extenuating circumstances, Lincoln can be flexible and will still consider a case, again, on an either or basis. The proposed insured must be able to meet the minimum annual level premium. So let's say you have a premium finance case, for whatever reason, a client cannot borrow premium the next year, but they don't want to lose their policy. There will be, on every illustration, the minimum amount of premium that they would have to pay to keep that going. And so we always do that as a litmus test, just in case, in the event that, again, a client cannot keep up with the pre-proposed or the in-place premium finance arrangement, the client still has to be able to pay that minimum annual premium. Again, interest must be paid as it is incurred With that being said, Lincoln will allow clients that are worth $10 million and not a foreign national to accrue interest for 10 years. And then last but not least, we must have a well-defined exit strategy. Death is not a strategy. And the best way to tell Lincoln about how you're going to exit the loan is through a simple cover letter. The cover letter, of course, you're going to include all those details, and it could be a combination of things. Sometimes some of the cash value might pay the loan off, or all of it, or outside sources, or a combination thereof. Recently, Lincoln was able to extend the premium finance capabilities into the foreign national space, multi-life, and term conversions, and that actually that's very rare with respect to how flexible premium finance can be, because usually a lot of carriers won't let you combine it with other, we'll call it specialty markets. You know, I hope that you all have found something in this presentation that you can hold on to, or thinking about clients that may fit this bill. Again, your business owners, your liquid folks that have farmland and real estate, you know, folks who have that net worth requirement, or generally who just need a lot of life insurance and might not have it, because of course a lot of life insurance is also going to come with a potentially larger premium. But again, I thank you for your time, and I'll pass it back, and we'll open for questions.
Okay, that was great. Thank you so much. We actually have a closed line because of the number of attendees. But what we can do, yeah, it's okay though. What we can do, anyone that has questions, obviously use the comment box or question box, or just call us or email us after, and we can get Till on a three-way call or a conference call. So if you have anything in detail or a specific case that you want to ask some questions on, no problem at all. We will get Till involved. She works with us all the time, so no problem. Okay, thank you, John and Till. That was a great overview. Yeah, no, of course, anytime. What I want to talk about real quick now is prospecting and how to find and create some of these leads, right? And people to speak to. I also want to share real quick a recent case that we had, and I think this will help a lot of you scratch the surface and say, wait a minute, I have a case like this, or I'm going to open my existing book and see what's in there, right? And pick up the phone and bring up this case example to a prospect or a client, let's say. So real quick, one of our agents, who's actually out of Kentucky, came up with this case. It was an existing client. Okay, just think about this for a minute. A 45-year-old, healthy, preferred, happened to be a PI attorney, had a $2 million universal life plan. Okay, $2 million of death benefit. The cash value was $350,000. So this agent, okay, by the way, leveraging Levinson and our premium finance department, which is basically Joe and Carrie, who have all the resources and the relationships to jump right in. We work with 3 different vendors, by the way, or premium finance institutions, if you will. So we can definitely look into your case. But long story short, the agent called, had this specific client that we needed a strategy for, a plan for premium finance. So again, $2 million UL with Mass Mutual, $350,000 a cash value, preferred non-tobacco. Obviously, the client has to be healthy. So we were able to get this client a new IUL case with living benefits, paying the same exact premium, but the death benefit, instead of $2 million, went to $12 million. Okay, guaranteed death benefit. We rolled in the $350,000 plus we used the premium finance strategy. Well, when this agent brought up this case or strategy to the client, this was a no-brainer. Okay, death benefit $2 million to $12 million plus living benefits using the same exact premium. So the premium never changed. The agent made a commission of $350,000 on this case. okay? Our vendor took for the premium finance split, 0, okay? 0. So the agent walked away with a check for $350. The client went from $2 million to $12 million, doesn't pay a penny more of premium, plus has living benefits now, okay? That is a slam dunk case. And let me just tell you, with this specific vendor, by the way, we have a new program where, let's say that this particular prospect or client, they can qualify. If they have an annual income of at least $100,000 a year, they can qualify. If the net worth is at least $1 million or higher, they can also qualify. So the point is, this isn't just for the physician who's making $1.2 million a year that's worth $72 million, okay? When you open up the door to, let's say, prospects that fit into the 6-digit or higher level, or a net worth of $1 million or higher, that changes the game, okay? And I know we all have clients that we've sold in the past that fall into this space that you can bring up this strategy to. So anyway, if you have someone, let us know. We would love to help you. We'll put the case design together. We'll get our third-party vendor involved, whoever fits best for the specific case, but we have the resources to do exactly that. Okay, let's jump in. Also, what we did on our website, we have a section, if you hover over marketing, it says premium finance there in blue. And then if you click there, we have a bunch of marketing pieces. We have a case design fact finder. We have e-blast pieces, social media, marketing blasts. I mean, you name it, we have everything already built for you. I encourage you to jump in and get comfortable, especially if you've never sold one of these before. Just know enough to be dangerous, and then pick up the phone and call us, get us involved, and we'll get whichever vendor fits best involved. And of course, the carrier, which typically it's Lincoln, or as you know, we have 72 other carriers, but a handful of go-to companies for premium finance. Okay, what I want to do now is shift gears. We're going to talk about getting the conversation started, what to say, right, to spark the interest, and then we're going to go over the process with you as soon as you call and say, hey, I have a guy. Andrew, you want to take it from here?
Yes, sir. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. I'm going to dive right in here to our next slide, which is starting the conversation, as Bill just mentioned. You know, it's great that we understand the concept now. We know how it works, the interest rate, the collateral, but who is a fit for this and where do you locate that person, right? So what we did is put this together. We have this brochure available on our website, and we'll be sending this out as well, but it's a conversation starter guide. Okay, you need this to know what to say and who to say it to, right? If you're talking to individuals, you know, does the client have the liquidity? Ask them what do they do? You know, what is their tax liability? Are they accustomed to borrowing money? You know, review their retirement objectives. Like Till mentioned, are they trying to take income, or is this solely a death benefit protection play to cover real estate or estate taxes? You know, what is the goal, right? Have that discussion and know what to look for when you're discussing that, so you can have an intelligent conversation with the client. Now, business owners, it's a completely different mindset, right? So you want to ask different sets of questions to clients of yours that you know are already a business owner. So maybe you want to, you know, put a toe in the water and ask some questions like, hey, you know, what's your cost efficiency with your business? You know, are you leveraging your assets? You know, do you need this level of protection? Do you have capital for existing cases? You know, you want to go over a lot of these types of questions. So we have this. We're going to send it out to you. I just wanted to quickly just dive into that. But it's the questions you ask that are important, as you know, asking the question to whom you're asking it to, right? You have to know what to say. I'm going to dive right into our premium finance process. We get a lot of calls to Joe or Carrie, and you know, agents say, I want to do this. I want to dive in. I think I have somebody that's a potential fit for this. Well, you need to know what exactly to do and how to utilize our office support. So step one is you're going to go to our website, and we're going to send this out as well. You're going to complete our premium finance intake form. Okay, this is a couple-page document that asks for all the information we need: their net worth, their income, what they do for a living, you know, all that information, what collateral they might have available. Once we get that, you're going to take step 2, which is you're going to send that to our marketing team for review, and we will complete an internal analysis with our carriers and our vendors. As Bill mentioned, we have numerous that we work with, and we will return a competitive case design for your scenario. So we're going to do all the shopping, we're going to do all the discussion. You don't have to get involved with that process. Once you get that back from us, step 3 is present that concept to your client. We're going to give you all the materials you need to make that presentation. Now, if you need help with the presentation, contact Bill. We'll go ahead and set up our premium finance expert, which can get involved to help you assist in your presentation. There may be a split involved in that, but we'll get involved and help you determine if that's a fit for your scenario or if you feel comfortable presenting it directly to your client. But I want to let you know that option is available, and just reach out to Bill. We'll make that arrangement for you. On the next slide here, it's about prospecting, right? We talked about what questions to ask. We talked about who might be the right candidate, whether it's an individual or business owner, but how do you find that in your book of business, right? Your book of business is a gold mine. You probably have somebody within your book of business that's going to be a candidate. So you can use our agency automator tool to do one of 2 things. Tap into your current book by using our pre-made templates for e-blasting, or use our consumer or business database. We have 28+ million records in here. So you can actually go through and you can search by net worth, by income, by location, if they're a business owner, what type of business. You know, you can get very specific as to what market you want to target, and then send out thousands of e-blasts to them and see what the interest level is. Throw it out there. You'll be surprised what you get in return because of this strategy. It's very, very lucrative, but it's also very attractive. Okay, so use our agency automator. It's 100% complimentary if you're a writing agent with us now. Okay, so there's no excuse not to use this. And like I said, if you're using it for your current clients, just get them on a drip marketing program, right? Set it and forget it. Every month you can set out a premium finance newsletter that talks about case studies that we just went over of your clients that have had success with this same system. Okay, so use this and we'll get you set up. Call our marketing team. We'll go ahead and take care of you on that. I'm going to get it back to Bill. He's going to talk about this premium finance podcast we did, which was excellent, excellent information. Bill?
Okay, thanks, Andrew. By the way, we're just about done here. So what I did here on this specific podcast, which is on our YouTube channel, on the website, or on your favorite podcast channel, Apple, iTunes, whatever you prefer. This was a great episode. The reason why, this was actually the founder of Northstar, okay, one of the country's leading vendors that we actually work with. They're one of 3. So the reasoning behind this is I wanted to dive in, basically put my agent hat on and ask the right questions to make sure that we were all comfortable, right, as agents. And we talked about some example cases. We talked about some small business using this strategy that worked out unbelievably well. In fact, there's 2 carriers where they actually approved Northstar as an in-house vendor. So anyway, this was 1 hour full of some great ideas. I encourage you all to check it out, okay? And he goes over sample cases. They have 2 new programs that your client can fall into. One, there is a 0% commission split for the premium finance, and that's huge. So basically that means if your commission, and obviously it depends on the carrier and product, but if your commission is 80%, you get 80% of that target premium, which could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't have to split the case. You don't lose 25% on the case. You get 100% of the case. So I encourage you all to check this one out. What we're going to do is send out a thank you email to everyone on the call. We're going to include this episode, so you just click and watch, obviously for free. We're also going to send out all the brochures, fact finders, marketing pieces, and licensing, of course, so you can get started. By the way, if you're already contracted with Lincoln with another IMO, move that contract over to us. We match, or most of the time beat, your existing commission, plus you get free leads or free cash as soon as you write your first app. That's simple. Okay, so make sure you speak to any one of our marketing reps and we'll get you up and running. Okay, this is our upcoming premium finance training. This is our second vendor that we work with exclusively on the 27th, okay, a couple weeks away at 2 p.m. This is a brand new rollout for us, a tech premium finance platform you probably have not seen before. It's going to be awesome. I don't want to take away any of their thunder, so I'm not going to tell you too much, but make sure you're tuned in on August 27th, 2 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be a big one. It's a brand new rollout the industry has not seen yet. So very, very cool stuff. This is an actual vendor, not a carrier. So make sure you're tuned in. Okay, moving forward, all of the technology that Andrew went over as far as prospecting and agency automator using our sample templates, I hope by now your website, your retail website is up and running and it looks professional and you have a premium finance section, right? Because this term is being used a lot right now. So make sure you're taking advantage of our free website builder class and our free website builder platform. Doesn't cost you a penny. So every single day at 2 p.m. we host these live events. On the bottom, take a look real quick. We have your family bank sales concept on the 20th, upcoming webinar next week. Everything you need to know about Levinson on the 18th. And then, of course, Legacy Armor is a great door opener. That's your online safe deposit box, if you will, that gives your clients a chance to keep all of their life insurance policies, annuities, passwords, family pictures, everything they want their beneficiaries to know when they pass on. Okay, that's a very cool tool. Agents are giving this away for free to any prospect that sets a meeting with them. They're using it as the hook. So take a look at that. Legacy Armor, we're the only IMO that has that. So take advantage of this stuff. Okay, our last slide here in our question of the day. Okay, so real quick, what I'm going to do first, today happens to be Thursday. This is our Positive Tuesday quote, so I'm going to jump ahead. So real quick, I love this one. You don't go out and find your way through life. You go out and create your way of life. Write the script, folks, okay? So in other words, come up with your own game, your own strategies. Take what we're giving you, take our resources, and get creative. Now is the time to step up. You talk about social media right now. You talk about e-blasting. You talk about video marketing, okay? Have your spouse hold up your smartphone tonight at the dinner table, okay? Talk about premium finance and what you learned today for 2 or 3 minutes, and then get it out there on all of your social media pages, on YouTube. And all it takes is one person, a friend, a family member that says, wait a minute, Bill, I didn't know there's a way to finance my premium on a life insurance policy. Tell me more. Guess what? That's a new client. And what did it cost you to market that video? Nothing. It's free. Right now, during this pandemic, you have to get creative and pick up the phone and come up with these 2-3 minute videos that cost you nothing. Okay, if you never did it before, well, guess what? Tonight could be the first one. Even if you get 2 people that see it, fine. That's 2 more people than you had yesterday, right? And then the 2 grows to 5 and 10. And then people start sharing your new creative video on premium finance. So now is the time to step in and get your message out there. Everything is online now, everything. There's no more face-to-face, at least for the time being, okay? And probably for a long, long time. So get comfortable. We have all the tools, training, technology, resources to help you market and brand yourself. But you have to put your right foot forward and jump in, okay? Now it's up to you. Okay, question of the day. So I was talking about our Bill Levinson Experience podcast episode with the founder of one of our premium finance vendors. Okay, what was the name of that vendor? Whoever answers first and correctly wins your choice, $50 Amazon gift card or the new Amazon Fire tablet. Whoever says it first wins. Andrew, do we have a winner?
Yes, we do have a winner. It looks like it is Rodney J. Rodney
From
J.
what state?
From Virginia.
Rodney from Virginia, congratulations. The answer was North Star. That was that first Premium Finance episode that I did. The founder of North Star was on for 1 hour, and I get a chance to pick his brain. So you'll see that episode in today's thank you email. Check it out. I want to hear from you. Tell me your thoughts. If you liked it, if you learned something, if you thought it was boring, I need to know, okay? Because I want to make sure the next one is better for you all. Have a great Thursday, a great rest of the week, good selling, and thank you again.